Imagine living in a city where breathing the air is as dangerous as smoking 20 cigarettes a day, where getting a glass of clean water is harder than finding liquor, where promises of 12 lakh jobs end up creating 20. Yes, just 20. And zero since 2021. This isn't just a bad dream. This is the reality of Delhi under the Aam Aadmi Party's governance. But wait, there's more. Water scarcity has become a yearly ordeal. And when it comes to rain, Delhi drowns. Sometimes literally. Like in the tragic incident that took place at the Rao's IAS coaching center, which exposed the sheer failure of the Aam Aadmi Party's MCD unit. And let's not forget about the Yamuna River. Once a majestic river, now a polluted mess, despite promises to clean it up. It doesn't end there. Delhi is the landfill capital of India. Our mountains of garbages are taller than some of our buildings. And the Aam Aadmi Party government has done little to change this. Arvind Kejriwal promised a better, cleaner and a greener Delhi. But what do we have? A city choked by pollutions, crippled by water shortages, drowning in floods, and struggling with unemployment. And what's the government solution? Blame everyone else. In this video, we are not just going to talk about the problems, we are going to expose the real reasons behind Delhi's struggles. And we'll discuss the solutions that could actually work, if only the government cared enough to implement them. So stick with me as we dive into the harsh realities and uncover what needs to change to save our city. The air quality in Delhi has become so toxic that it's a threat to everyone's life. According to a 2023 report by the University of Chicago Energy Policy Institute, the air quality in Delhi could shorten the average life expectancy of its residents by nearly 12 years. As winter approaches, Delhi turns into a gas chamber. The air becomes thick with smoke and breathing feels like a punishment. But why does this happen year after year? What are the real reasons behind the Delhi's air pollution crisis? Stubble burning. Every year, farmers in Punjab and Haryana burn crop residues to clear their fields for the next crop cycle. This burning releases massive amounts of smoke, which carried by the wind engulfs Delhi in a toxic haze. Vehicular emissions. Delhi's roads are packed with vehicles, many of which are old and poorly maintained. The exhaust from these vehicles adds to the already polluted air. Construction dust. With Delhi's rapid urbanization, construction sites are everywhere. The dust from these sites, combined with the pollution from the industries, worsens the situation. Weather conditions. During winter, a meteorological phenomena known as the inversion layer traps pollutants close to the ground, preventing them from dispersing. This makes the air quality even more worse. The blame game, Kejriwal versus Punjab and Haryana. So what has been Arvind Kejriwal's response to this crisis? A blame game. In the early years of his tenure, he pointed fingers at Punjab and Haryana, claiming that burning of stubble in these states was the primary cause of Delhi's pollution. But here's where it gets interesting. In 2022, Aam Aadmi Party won the elections in Punjab, and suddenly Kejriwal's narrative changed. Now instead of blaming Punjab, he focuses solely on Haryana. He conveniently ignores the fact that stubble burning continues in Punjab under his own party's administration. The selective blame shifting shows the hypocrisy in his approach. Instead of finding a solution, he is busy playing politics. Solutions for air pollution. Now let's talk about the real solutions, the ones that could actually make a difference and clean the air we breathe. Implementing smoke-free towers. Unlike the ineffective Rs 23 crore smoke tower, real smoke-free towers could be strategically placed around the city. These towers, like the ones used in the cities like Beijing, are designed to pull in the polluted air and filter out the harmful particles and release clean air. The technology exists, it just needs to be implemented properly. Promoting electric vehicles. Transition from traditional fuel-based vehicles to electric vehicles is crucial. The Delhi government needs to offer more incentives for EV buyers, build charging infrastructure, and perhaps even restrict entry for the non-EVs in the most polluted areas, supporting farmers with alternatives to stubble burning. Instead of simply blaming farmers, the Delhi government, in collaboration with the central government, could fund alternative practices like crop residue management machines, which convert stubble into useful byproducts, avoiding the need to burn it. Expanding green cover. Planting more trees and creating urban forest in and around Delhi can act as a natural air purifier. This isn't just about beautification, it's about survival. Trees absorb pollutants, and expanding green spaces can make a significant difference. Water is something so essential yet so scarce in Delhi. Each summer, as the temperature soars, Delhi finds itself in the grip of a severe water crisis. But as the season changes, the capital faces a different kind of water problem. Floods that bring the city to its knees. Who's responsible for this mismanagement and what can be done? The Yamuna Water Sharing Agreement. To understand this situation better, we need to look at the Yamuna Water Sharing Agreement of 1994. The agreement was signed between Haryana, Delhi, and other neighboring states, outlining how the water from the Yamuna River would be distributed. Delhi's allocation. According to the agreement, Delhi was allotted 724 million cubic meters of water from the Yamuna. This was based on the needs and the population of Delhi at that time. Haryana has been fulfilling its obligation under the agreement, ensuring that the water allotted to Delhi is delivered. However, Delhi's population has grown significantly since 1994 and the demand for water has skyrocketed. The reality behind the blame. But is Haryana really to blame for Delhi's water woes? The reality is more complex. Leakages and mismanagement. Delhi's water distribution system is riddled with inefficiencies. Nearly 40% of the water supplied to Delhi is lost due to leakages in old and poorly maintained pipelines. This wastage, combined with the issues like water theft and the notorious water tanker mafia, exacerbates the crisis. Over-dependence on external sources. Delhi's over-reliance on Yamuna for its water supply makes it vulnerable. Instead of diversifying its water sources or investing in rainwater harvesting and ground recharge, the Delhi government continues to blame Haryana for its shortages. The accusations against the Haryana government and the central government are more about political posturing than addressing the root causes. By shifting the blame, the Delhi government distracts from its own failures in water management and infrastructure development. But the water problems in Delhi don't end with scarcity. When the monsoon arrives, the city, instead of celebrating the rains, braces itself for another disaster: flooding. The very same government that blames others for water shortages is now struggling to manage the excess water. The monsoon of 2024 was particularly tragic. Heavy rains led to widespread flooding in various parts of Delhi, exposing the severe shortcomings in the city's drainage system. Another responsibility of the Aam Aadmi Party's led MCD unit. One of the most heart-wrenching incidents was the flooding at the Rao's IAS coaching center in the old Rajendra Nagar, where several UPSC aspirants tragically lost their lives. So how can we tackle Delhi's water woes? Fixing the leakages. The first step should be to repair the old and damaged water pipelines. This could reduce water wastage by up to 40%, ensuring that more of the water supplied actually reaches homes and businesses. Rainwater harvesting. The Delhi government should enforce rainwater harvesting in all new constructions and incentivize their adoption in the older buildings. This would not only help in water conservation but also recharge the city's depleted groundwater levels. Upgrading drainage systems. To prevent floods, the drainage system in Delhi needs a complete overhaul. This includes desilting drains before the monsoon, expanding the capacity of existing drains, and constructing new ones where necessary. Now let's turn our attention to the promises of development and job creation in Delhi. which have been the major talking points of Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party since they took the office. The promises were grand, with the biggest being the creation of 12 lakh jobs. However, the reality has been starkly different. Arvind Kejriwal promised the creation of 12 lakh jobs for Delhi's youth, a promise that gave hope to millions. Yet, according to an RTA response from the Employment Department, not a single job has been provided by the Delhi government since 2021. This is not just a failure, it's a betrayal of the trust of the people who voted for Kejriwal, believing in the vision of prosperous Delhi. While Delhi's population continues to grow, the infrastructure has not kept pace, leading to increased congestion, poor public services, and deteriorating quality of life. Take the public transportation system for instance. The Delhi Metro, once the pride of the city, now struggles with overcrowding, and the expansion plans have been sluggish at best. The bus fleet, which should be growing to accommodate the rising number of commuters, is aging and is insufficient, forcing more people to rely on private vehicles, further worsening the traffic and pollution. The issue of landfills in Delhi is a glaring example of this failure. The Ghazipur landfill, one of the largest in the city, continues to grow, with the fresh dumping occurring regularly, despite promises to flatten it. Instead of developing modern waste management solutions, Delhi is still grappling with mountains of garbage. This is not just an eyesore, it's a public health hazard. The toxic gases emitted from these landfills contribute to the already severe air pollution and the polluted liquid that seeps out, contaminating the groundwater, posing a serious risk to the health of the city's residents. The Yamuna River, a symbol of failure. And let's not forget about the Yamuna River, once a symbol of life in Delhi, now it's more of a polluted drain. Every year, Siberian seagulls arrive at the famous point along the Yamuna. But what do they find? A river choked with waste and pollution. Despite countless promises to clean up the Yamuna, the river remains one of the most polluted in the world. The irony is stark. While the government spends crores on promoting ecotourism by inviting people to witness the beautiful birds, it does nothing substantial to clean the river they come to. The Yamuna Action Plan, which was supposed to rejuvenate the river, has failed to achieve its objectives, and the river's condition continues to deteriorate. So, what can be done to get Delhi back to track? Promoting green jobs. The Delhi government could focus on creating jobs in the green sectors such as renewable energy, waste management, and urban planning. These jobs not only provide employment but also contribute to making Delhi a more sustainable city, revamping public infrastructure. It's high time for the government to accelerate its public infrastructure projects. This includes expanding and modernizing the metro network, increasing the bus fleet, and improving the city's road infrastructure. These projects would create jobs and improve the quality of life for Delhi's residents. Waste to energy project. Instead of letting landfills grow, the government should invest in waste to energy plants. By converting garbage into electricity, Delhi could not only tackle its waste problems but also reduce its dependency on non-renewable energy sources. Singapore has successfully implemented this model, and there is no reason why Delhi can't do the same. Yamuna cleanup and riverfront development. The Yamuna River needs a comprehensive cleanup strategy, including the installation of sewage treatment plants, the enforcement of pollution and control laws, and community-driven initiatives to keep the river clean. Developing a clean, vibrant riverfront could also boost tourism and create jobs. Delhi's financial health has faced serious challenges under the Aam Aadmi Party government. A glaring example of this is the Delhi Jal Board, which has seen a shocking transition from a profit to a staggering loss under Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's leadership. The Delhi Jal Board went from a profit of Rs 600 crores to an overwhelming loss of Rs 73,000 crores. The alarming financial decline raises critical questions about the governance and the financial management of the Aam Aadmi Party government. The dramatic reversal has raised concern about the management of public resources and the sustainability of Delhi's water supply system. How did this happen? The Aam Aadmi Party's government policies, including the provision of free water and subsidized electricity, have been widely criticized. While these initiatives were popular among voters, they have strained the financial resources to a breaking point. The failure to upgrade infrastructure, mismanagement of funds, and lack of transparency in financial dealings have further compounded the issue. The cost of free electricity has also added to Delhi's financial woes. While the Aam Aadmi Party government has promoted this as a major achievement, the reality is that it has put immense pressure on the state's finances. The subsidies have questioned about their long-term sustainability. The government's focus on short-term electoral gains has led to a long-term financial burden. The broader impact of these financial decisions is deeply concerning. The massive losses incurred by the Delhi Jal Board and the strain of subsidies on the state budget have limited the government's ability to invest in critical infrastructure projects. This has slowed down the development of Delhi's public services such as water supply and sewage systems, leaving Delhi's citizens to bear the brunt of poor governance. Solutions: financial reforms and sustainable policies. So, what can be done to reverse this trend and restore financial stability in Delhi? Transparent financial management. The Delhi government must implement transparent financial practices to ensure that the public funds are used effectively. Regular audits and public disclosures can help prevent the misuse of resources. Revisiting subsidy policies. It's essential to reassess the current subsidy policies to ensure that they are sustainable. While providing relief to citizens is important, it should not come at the cost of financial ruin. Infrastructure investment. Investing in modernizing Delhi's water and power infrastructure is crucial. This will not only improve the service delivery but will also reduce the operational cost in the long run. We have talked about a lot today: the broken promises, the failures, and the solutions. But here's the thing: real change does not come from the government, it comes from the people, it comes from you and me. Taking action, holding our leaders accountable, and working together to build the future we want to see. And speaking of the action, here's my promise to you. The day a YouTube family grows to 1 million subscribers, I will personally plant 1 lakh trees. Let's not just talk about the change, let's make it happen together. If you feel I have missed something or if there is more to discuss, let me know in the comment section below. If you believe in the cause, if you want to see a better Delhi and a better future for all of us, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's grow this community and make a real difference. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.